to my party. We're just getting started. A life is a dream or an...
Good morning, everybody. It looks like you guys have been already just jippity jabbing all morning long, and that is a-okay with me. Oh, goodness. Back at the command center and trying to do some stuff. Looks like, wow, it's like we're instantly full of people, which I can appreciate. For the replay crew will appreciate the fact that we didn't have to do any crazy admin notes. But quick admin note. Already on a get out of the top chat LP. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hi, sir. Got to keep me in line, Oops. You got to keep me in line, man. Okay, let's see here. The admin note is simple. Started the fast last night, 9 o'clock. I'm now HGH levels have risen. I'm in the 12-hour region right now already, and I'll keep you guys updated. Okay, so I'm trying to see why is this so blurry? What is going on here? For 1080p, it's interesting. Okay. Where'd my chat go? Frickin'. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and knock this out. Looks like Laser is the only person out of 6 that has any that has a sack to say good morning on the Rumble side. But over there on the YouTube side, Cindy, or actually, I thought, no, that's right. 6:54 a.m. Rose, first catitude, number 2. Alrighty, then you are deterred. And good morning to my loyal followers. What do we got here? We got Bob Pita. We got Johnny. Where are we at here? We got Debbie Chandler. Let's see here. And obviously Rose. And you guys are just chatting it up. Creative Redundancy is in the house. Bradley Collins is over here. Good to go. Let's see here. Lazy's in the house. Nice. Oops is here. And there's some Bob Pita and some Light Raider and some Andy Pearson. All right. Let's get this party started, guys. So, as you can tell by my schedule, I'm doing a lot more driving these days. I think that I'm reasonably prepared with the things that are inside of my car. Now, they do take up some space, but I have a Ford Explorer that I drive, or a Jeep, and it is what it is, but wintertime is no time to be screwing around with things that you have in your car. So with that said, good morning, Ian. Good morning, my friend, Broom, and good morning, West Virginia Pappy. So with that said, getting straight to the point, the average American spends approximately 12.5% of their waking hours in a car. If a disaster strikes, there is a significant chance it will occur while someone is on the road. Whether it's fleeing from danger or simply being involved in a roadside accident, vehicles can quickly become both a lifeline and a liability. For those reasons, having a well-stocked car emergency kit is essential. Essential. What I've done is I've created a checklist. It is not all encompassing and in no specific order, but there are things that we should have in our cars at all times. And yes, I know this can be for those that are not in the preparedness space, this can be something that is not optimal for their personal needs or their lives. What's up, Tuck? Good morning, my friend. Johnny says reasonably prepared is reasonable. Exactly. So first and foremost, well, I wouldn't say first and foremost, but I'll say first thing on the list, emergency food and water. Now, here's what, if you guys are new to the channel, there's a lot more people in here today, so I'm guessing there's some new people. I talk about some stuff. You write some stuff down. I talk about the stuff that you wrote down. It's a pretty simple cycle. And if you disagree, put it in the chat. If you agree, put it in the chat. Put something in the chat. The point is that I will never pretend that I know everything. So the first thing we're going to talk about is emergency food and water. You should have at least 3 days worth of food and water. It should always be kept in your car. While it might seem excessive, having this reserve can be invaluable. if it becomes necessary to flee a disaster or wait out a road closure. You know, we've all heard stories about I-95, the winter with I-95, and people were trapped for days. Keeping a few gallons of water in the trunk, and smaller water packets maybe, ensures access to hydration. Additionally, a water filtration bottle like a Life Straw, can be used to, or Life Straw Pro, Life Straw Go. It's like a water bottle. It's a Life Straw. Can be used to purify water if supplies run out. For food, energy bars are a compact option. High calorie survival bars such as the 3,600 calorie rotation bars are ideal for emergencies. Other foods can be used, but be mindful of the need for heating or rehydrating freeze-dried foods. MREs are actually perfect for car survival food. Now, I see the chat is rolling, so we're going to go over there. And the first thing we're going to do is, because we kind of screwed it up, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the poll. Now, I've seen no one has answered the poll, so I've either left out something that you believe is more important, or you're paying attention, not answering. Rod, you're not like just jumping on the poll. So the question of the poll is the most crucial item for a car kit: emergency food and water, tools for car repairs, navigation tools like a map and compass, or first aid and medical supplies. Once again, there's no rush to fill this out. We'll do that at the end. But if you feel you know the answer, you know what to do. I'm going to go ahead and check the chat now. What do we got here? Star showed up. Canada. Nice. Let's see. Bob Peter says, I spent at least 60 hours a week in my truck. I have bug out bag and a minimum of a case of water. There you go. That's what I'm talking about, brother. That's what I'm talking about. Living in 1984. What's up, Broseph? Hey, y'all, UK, great business checking in. And how's my brother across the pond doing? We are doing super duper pooper scooper. Good as usual, man. Good as usual. We're back at the command center in North Carolina and just doing good deeds. Tuck says, I answered the poll. Where's it at, Tuck? It says 0. It says 0. Is there something wrong with my poll? Interesting. I wouldn't put it past YouTube for a second to screw it up. Let me let's minimize this and see if we can maybe I need to refresh this screen just so we see if the poll is broken. Yeah, it says nobody did the poll, but I'm not worried about it. So let's see here. Pop out chat. I used to worry about stuff like this, like, why isn't this working? But then it basically what happens is it detracts from the video, so I don't go super crazy over it. So it is what it is. All right, let's see here. Poll is broken. Gotcha, bro. Let's see here. I answered the poll. I did vote, and my vote disappeared. Isn't that special? Well, I'm just going with the poll is broken. You know what I can do? I bet I can freaking end that poll. I'm not even going to bother starting a poll, guys, because that's going to detract from the video. Here in northern Kansas, where are we at? Andy says, here in northern Kansas, I carry the usual water, jerky, protein bars, etc. Also, Army shovel, kitty litter, blankets, and candles, flares. Yeah, that is a that's a good combination. That's a good combination. YouTube running voter interference. That is hilarious. Do you guys want me to put the poll back in? If you want me to put the poll back in, there's a little time during this video. I'll put the poll back in. We'll see if we can't get it going if you want me to do it. Okay, let's see here. Dominion, I got you. Can't list and all butts near winter need heat too. Yes, Rose, yes. Okay, so carrying on here. The next thing is emergency clothes and shoes. Even outside of emergencies, having a spare set of clothes is good practice. An unexpected spill or sudden weather change can create a need for fresh clothing. For emergencies, pack practical items like jeans, a loose shirt, a warm fleece jacket, and a rain poncho. For footwear, keep a pair of sturdy sneakers or boots in the car is essential. In the event of a breakdown or evacuation, walking in uncomfortable shoes like heels or flip-flops could lead to injuries. Now, when we talk about clothing, the clothing should be seasonal, okay? And we're going to talk about scheduling stuff later on, but clothing should be seasonal. It should be clothes that are functional. The other thing that nobody talks about are gloves. Good morning, K Kim. K Kim, are you on your fast? Did you start your fast last night, or are you starting today? I started last night at 9 p.m. But gloves, I keep some light and medium work gloves inside my car. And I've found, tell you what, when you got to change a tire, they are magical, because then you don't end up with black stuff all over your hands. Let's see here. Starting this morning, got me coffee. There you go. All right. So we're drinking to K Kim's fast. I know there's 3 of you that did it, but once again, I didn't ask anybody to do it, but it is what it is. Put poll back. Starting this morning, got me coffee. Can't give up the coffee. No. Well, coffee will not mess with your fast. So don't worry about it. All right. So I've got a couple of people saying put the poll back. All right. Give me 1 second. And let's see. I had one person say no, but when one person says no and 2 persons say yes, then we're going to put the poll back. All right. So we're going to see. We're going to see if we can get the poll to work. Good thing most of this is all just copy and paste from me. And while I do this and drink coffee and talk smack, you guys are posting stuff for me to talk about. And we can go to that right after I do this. And I'm just about done, actually. Going to post that and then start the poll. Okay, so I've started a new poll, and let's see. We need to present, share screen, and YouTube live. Cha-cha-cha-chow. There we go. All right, so let's get rid of that. Coffee flushes. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just drink a lot of coffee. I carry extra for my kids and day EDC bag just in case. Gotcha. Let's see here. The people are begging for your poll. You Casanova. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't believe you got me to say that, Tuck. That's hilarious. Homesteader Creaker. Nice to see you, man. Too specific for my truck. Fix-a-flat, portable air compressor, extra fluids, water included, extra clothes, blankets for seat covers, and boxes of tissues. AR with plenty of rounds, Glock handy knife. Let's see here. Am I back in the live chat? Thank you, bro. It must have done that when I reset it. There we go. Nice. All better. Oops. You just keep me in line, bro. So you just keep keeping me in line. I got no problem with it. All right. So we were talking about the footwear, and nothing relevant came through the chat that I can tell anyway. So let's go ahead and move on to the third thing. So navigation is the chat. Oh, we got action in the chat, guys. What do we got here? 15 votes instantly. Okay. So 60% food and water, 20% tools and repairs, 13% first aid and medical supplies, and 7% is navigational tools, maps, and compass. Nice. We are moving up and out. All right. So, 1 second, guys. Yeah, I've been getting a phone call from that number for a couple of days now, and I keep blocking it, and it keeps coming back. So, all right, let's see here. Anyway, so navigation, map, and compass. While GPS is convenient, it can't always be relied upon, especially if your battery dies or during events like an EMP, electromagnetic pulse. Keeping physical maps of the local and surrounding areas, along with a reliable compass, is crucial. Learning how to read a map can be a life-saving skill when technology fails. Now, why would we want a compass with our map in a car? Well, it's pretty simple, because roads make things significantly easy. But if you're familiar with where you are and you can navigate off the road, you may get to where you're going even quicker in a in straight line distance. So it's good. It's a good idea to have a compass on you, and I mean they're not expensive, so it's not a bad idea. So I would definitely have one. Let's see here. Don't call during a live stream. I know, right? Those sons of bitches. No, I'm actually expecting. I've reached out to a couple of companies and trying to get some products so I can do videos for you guys. And I'm expecting a few callbacks. So, things happen. Things happen. We've been trying to contact you about your extended car warranty. About your extended warranty. That's about right. That's about what that was. Homestead Creeker, rest stops sometimes have free paper state maps. I have a nice collection for off-road trips. Homestead Creeker, absolutely correct. That's where I get my updated maps right on the North Carolina, Virginia border every year. Just go in there. They've got a nice little center of a lady who sits in there, and all she does is tell people about things. She doesn't sell anything or anything. I just say, hey, where are the maps? She's like, they're over there. Okay, thank you. Bye. I grab a couple and I leave. Let's see here. It's a silent ringtone for all calls except numbers. I know. I got you. Glad to see you found someone other than Angry Jason. Jesus. I have several. There we go. An atlas and or a gazette could be helpful. Gazettes are more detailed. Yes, exactly. And atlases update every year. But I would say if you're going to buy an updated atlas every year, that you should only do that if you know there has been significant changes to highways in the last year. So I wouldn't be jumping on that right away. Okay, so looks like we got some change in the poll. We're up to 17 votes. Currently, emergency food and water is winning at 53%. All right, so drink a little coffee. Glug, glug, glug. All right, next thing, warmth and shelter. Cars provide shelter from the elements, but may not offer much warmth. You're basically in a metal box. Essentials include a wool blanket, which retains heat even when wet, and emergency Mylar blankets, which reflect body heat. Hand warmers are small but effective tools for preventing frostbite. Having matches, a fire starter, and a sleeping bag, or even a tent can be invaluable. If forced to abandon the vehicle, the plastic tarp can also be used to create an emergency shelter or as ground cover. Many people dismiss the fact that they would be much better outside of their cars than inside of their cars. Many cars do not have very good insulation. And if you were stuck in a cold situation, I'm not saying like Arctic cold, I'm not saying like a blizzard situation, but if you were stuck in a situation where it might actually be better for you to get out of your car, set up a camp there on the side of the road and wait for help, and I know that sounds a little weird. I know that sounds a little weird, but let's face it, some vehicles are literally just metal boxes and they do not retain heat at all, especially when you start breathing inside of them heavily. Condensation builds up. If there's a cooling effect that happens inside of a vehicle. If you've ever slept in a vehicle overnight during the wintertime, you know what I'm talking about. You wake up and there's nothing but water all over your windshield. It's everywhere. And sometimes if it's cold enough, it even freezes. And that would make things even worse. Now you'd be inside of an ice box. So there are situations where it's better to get out of your car. Depending on where you live, I would take a good look at that. I would think hard about that. Okay. So going to the chat, what do we got here? Andy says, don't forget a Bofang. Andy, quit jumping ahead, man. Creative Redundancy says top off the tank. I personally never let my stuff get below a quarter tank. If it's the wintertime, no less than half a tank. Let's see here. Things should be in your get home bag are 50 or are for 500. I don't know what that means. Bofang is always in my truck, Bob says. My junker keeps me cool when it's cold and hotter when it's hot. Exactly. Exactly. Are all Mylar blankets the same? Bradley, that's a great question. No, they are not. Generally, it's about the thickness of the Mylar blanket and whether it has a coating on the outside of it. Generally, the Mylar shelters are better because they actually have a waterproof coating on them. And that will help to retain the body heat inside of it. Also, the shelters are large, so you could literally like create your own personal little tent inside your car. You could like it's like a giant sleeping bag basically, but it's the size of a tent. It's the size of like the tent you played in when you were a kid. But it's excellent. It's absolutely excellent for retaining heat. And it's not going to rip as easy. Let's see here. Like Jeep Wranglers, zero insulation. Finished my winter kit. I got you, Kay. Yeah, I've got a Jeep Cherokee Sport, and it's zero insulation. There's nothing inside that thing. Let's see here. Let's see. You are exactly correct. Let's see here. Would putting a car cover over car help insulate? Somewhat, but I mean, a layer is a layer is a layer. So I'm going to say yes, but I don't know if that would be like a real survival thing. I'm not sure. What do we got here? Rose Gazette, Creative Redundancy, saying hi. Cuck V, shut up. What's going on, Broseph? Let's see here. Andy says, I take my Bofang AR5RM wherever I go. There's actually a new radio that's coming out being made by Retevis. They've asked me to test it for them. I'm on the list. So if it shows up, I'll let you guys know what happens. Oops says, in some situations, staying in a car could get dangerous. Bad guys might be attracted. In that case, your vehicle could be bait or distraction for a bad guy. Absolutely true. Let's see. 500 is a Jeopardy joke. Oh, I got you. It's just out of context. That's all. I was a Jeopardy. Andy says, I have a mobile radio in my car and handheld in my wife's car with 2 extra batteries and external magnetic mount antenna. Love it. Ian says, I picked up a pair of Brazilian blankets, extra thick Mylar with COA. I like it. COA. Let's see here. Layers of dead airspace is what insulated. Gotcha. I picked up a pair of Blizzard blankets, which are extra thick Mylar and some type of coating. There you go. Integration. Hi, Tuck. Have you looked at the integration message? Don't know what that is, bro. So don't know what that is, Stray Kitten. All right, so let's see here. We're going to go ahead and what time is it? At 9:23. There you go. We're going to move on to first aid kit. This sounds simplistic. It can be, but we need to think about it. A well-stocked first aid kit is a must-have for any emergency vehicle kit. Beyond the basics, consider adding tourniquets, trauma pads, and antiseptic ointments. For those traveling with pets or children, including items tailored to their specific needs, like baby aspirin or pet bandages. The bottom line, Light Raider, you jumped the gun, Broseph. The bottom line is that your first aid kit should be able to handle the things that you need to handle. If you're going to be looking at anything that you're going to spend money on, I would recommend, well, it's going to be situational, but I would recommend the Bear Mini from Refuge Medical. It basically covers everything I just talked about with the exception of baby aspirin and pet bandages. Okay. That was very interesting. I'm going to be making that video today, guys. I got the supplies in yesterday that I needed. So I will be making that video today. It's going to be about how to turn a Bear Mini into a Bear Fac. But it is what it is. I think you need to make sure my short story about of car first aid kits is pretty simple. If you've heard me, too bad, you're going to hear it again. There's people in here that never heard it before. So a couple years back, I was part of a mag, and I didn't like the idea of how there were lots of people. There were a couple specific ones, I won't name names, that were like they were making and they were producing these first aid kits and trauma kits. And their only selling point was, "Oh, special forces," duh. And that's how they got you to buy their stuff. And I started looking at it. It was like just crazy expensive. So I looked into making my own. If I made my own, then it was going to be even more expensive to make. I was like, okay, so maybe this makes sense. And I talked to a friend. He's like, no, just make them in mass. So what we did was I built 10 of these trauma kits, and then we vetted them out throughout the mag, or should I say, got them out through the mag. The money that I spent, they gave back to me for making their kit, and they got this like $200 kit for like $90. It was a pretty sweet deal because I get my kit, everybody gets their kit, and I only spend $90 for a kit. It's just effort, right? Effort and enthusiasm. So I'm at I'm at a gas station, and I'm opening the my gas tank cap, and something inside of the little orifice where the gas tank cap lives caught my hand and split the top of my finger wide open. And I was like, whoa, well, okay, let's put some pressure on this. Let's keep doing what we're doing. The old finger tuck so that everybody should know how to do. And then let's go ahead and get something on this. I went to my trauma kit, and I realized I didn't even have a single Band-Aid. I didn't have a single small bandage. I didn't have anything that I could like just fix my little cut up with, right? And I'm bleeding all over the place because it went pretty deep. So I literally had to go inside of the gas station and get some. I bought a roll of duct tape for like $7 and a bunch of napkins that I got from the coffee station. And made myself a bandage. Rappity rap rap rap. Yeah. The long and short of the story is that you need to have a first aid kit inside your car that can do almost everything. Okay. So learn from the old guy who screwed it up. And now I actually keep this little bitty. They make these little bitty super flat first aid kits that just have Band-Aids and stuff in them. At the $1.25 tree store. They're white. They slip into your glove compartment. They don't take up any space whatsoever, man. I threw all the bad Band-Aids out, put some good Band-Aids inside there, the flexible ones that I like. Put some Neosporin in there. Yeah, put my little like one of those little suture seal things where it's like or a butterfly. Put that in there. Snip snip into the glove box. It goes. It's in all of my cars. And I probably spent $6 or $7 on like 3 kits for 3 cars. You know what I'm saying? So first aid kit. Okay. So it looks like we've reached the halfway point for the live stream. As usual, guys, if you love your country, put a number 1 in the chat. America. There we go. I'm going to drink some coffee. I'm going to read some stuff. I'm going to read the chat. I'm going to talk some smack while you are doing all of that. All right, let's see here. GM leg. Good morning, leg healing well. I didn't know Oops's leg was messed up. Hopefully, no. You're asking Cuck Farmer. I didn't know Cuck's Farmer was messed up. Hand sanitizer, multi-purpose. Yes, very true. Very true. Homestead Cricker says, I find the new skin super glue stuff super handy in my kit. I will use it whenever needed. Yes, that stuff is it's pretty handy. I've never had to use. One of the things about that new skin is I'm not sure how well it works while the wound is bleeding. I think you really have to like clean it out and get the bleeding to stop. I'm not exactly sure. Let me know in the chat, because in my mind, it's like, okay, so it's like clean it, put some goo on there or some antibiotics on there and then get that Band-Aid on there tight so I can like get that bleeding stopped and maybe come back later and put some of that new skin on there. But I'm not exactly sure. let me know in the chat, bro. Rose says, broke down once and fell asleep in the pickup. Woke up 1 hour later, had a tow tag from State Patrol. Oh, Jesus. He couldn't just like tap on your window and wake you up. I mean, come on, really? Mike says, Mike says antiseptic ointment are available in individual packets instead of carrying a tube. That way it stays fresh longer and no air gets to the end of the. Mike, that's pretty freaking smart. That's pretty freaking smart, Broseph. Oops says his leg is healing. Next appointment at Burn Center is first Mondays. I didn't know you got yourself all burned up, man. Come on, stay current. Johnny says bottled water, paper towels, and duct tape can do a lot. Absolutely true. Ian is still talking about wool blankets. Bradley says I cut my hand open while laying carpet. Some carpet pad and some tape let me finish job 8 stitches once I got to hospitalization. I got you, bro. That sucks. Cuts on hand is more common. That's why I have gloves. I wear gloves every time I do anything. When I don't wear gloves, my hands get mangled. Where are we at here? Let's see here. Stray Kitten. What happened? All right. So Kim says, my husband made fun of me when I threw a portable toilet in his van. He drove across country and got stuck. Let's just say he thanked me for it later. Yes, I love it. That's that prepper revenge. You know what I'm saying? I love it, Kim. Let's see. Bradley says, new skin burns like wildfire, but works well enough. Should always stop bleeding first. Gotcha, Broseph. You've slept since it was mentioned. I don't know what that means. Best wool blanket ever used from Hudson Bay Company. Worked up the tag. Better than waking up with a tag on your toe, Stray Kitten says. Homestead, yes, still needs clean up, especially if lots of blood, but the glue has some stuff in it that stings and stops bleeding fairly quickly and dries in approximately 2 minutes. So one of the things a lot of people don't talk about is kind of like old school type stuff. Maybe I need to do a first aid kit update video, but there's something called Septa-Stick. They use it in barbershops, and they used to actually put it in Navy Corpsmen's medical kits. And I don't remember the name of the chemical. If any of my super smart people, now that I've said that, just like, whoa, I never thought of that. But basically, it's like it looks like it's the size of lip gloss. Okay. It comes in a clear tubular container, and you literally just take it out, and wherever you're cut, you apply it that pressure, and that chemical that's in it just stops the bleeding. It's like it stops bleeding extremely fast. So if you know the name of the chemical, that would be super duper. But we used to buy them at the PX on the base, and we used it when we were in the field because we had to shave every morning. Stupid Marines. If you shaved and you cut yourself, it would start to cause problems. You don't have like this big wash bin to clean yourself, and you could have all sorts of problems. So you needed to immediately stop that bleeding. And you just take that. It's what it's really designed for. You just, from what I understand, it's the same stuff that they use on a large scale on cows to get their bleeding in their legs to stop. But it's like old school technology. Let's see here. Right point leg caught fire. Oh my God, really? What? Right pant leg caught fire while using a grinder to cut bolts that hold bed on my 2000 F250 Super Duty. Guy loves his truck. He's got to use the full name. He could just say my truck. Got rear-ended August 10th. I had to take bed off so frame can get straightened. Let's see here. Interstate grinder. Learning how to shave. Haha, mine was like a crayon chalk stick. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's just a little thicker, Alum. Mike says it's called alum. There you go. I thought it was a salt stick. My mom gave me one with a straight razor the first time I shaved my legs. There you go. There you go. Bum, bum, bum. So basically, it's alum, septic, essentially aluminum sulfate. There you go, Andy Pearson. There we go. Nice, nice. But yeah, it's great to put in your first aid kits for stopping bleeding like that. Let's see. Also called a septic pencil. There you go. All right, so let's go ahead and check the chat real quick here. Looks like we got 20 votes in the chat. 45% say emergency food and water, and tools and car repairs. 25%. 20% is first aid and medical supplies, and 10% is navigational stuffs. Okay, let's see here. We're going to go ahead and move on to mechanical and car repair supplies. So even if someone isn't mechanically inclined, it is crucial to have basic repair tools on hand. This thing I'm talking to you about here, it should include things like vice grips, adjustable wrenches, screwdrivers, pliers, and even a tire inflator, a pump. Someone mentioned it earlier. I keep one in my car. Knowing how to change or plug a tire. Oh my God. I don't know why people aren't actually doing tire plugs instead of changing their tires. Jumpstart a car, even something as simple as cleaning an air filter can be considered a mechanically life-saving skill. Keeping fluids like brake fluid, antifreeze, transmission fluid, and oil is also essential, especially on long trips. An ice scraper, tire jack, spare tire, maybe some kitty litter for some traction if you get stuck, should always be in the trunk during winter months. WD-40 and spare fuses can solve various minor mechanical issues. It's actually crazy stupid, some of the things that we don't do that are so simple to do. Longer jumper cables. There you go. No, the short ones suck, right? But my story on well, it's not necessarily a story, but on mechanical/car repair supplies, my little life perk, I guess, that I'm going to share with you is that it actually takes less time to plug a tire than it takes to change a tire. Not a joke. If you've got the tools and the skills, the tools are $5, guys. And I don't recommend the El Cheapos that you can get for $5. But if you're on a budget, the tools are $5. Everything you need to plug a tire is $5. You're driving down the road, you catch a nail, it goes, and you don't even know it's there until you come out of the Wally world. You know what I'm saying? To a flat tire, and you're like, oh man. You look at the tire, you can see the nail. You're like, damn it, what do I do? Well, I guess I'm changing my tire, right? So you get your jack out, you jack your car up, you get you get the tire off, and then now you're going to go and get your spare if you have one, okay? And then you're going to put that on in the same amount of time that it took you to take that crappy tire, your bad tire, to the trunk and get your donut out and get ready to put it on. You could have easily plugged the hole in the tire. It's as simple as pulling the nail out, which is why vice grips come in handy. You should have vice grips in your car. Pull the plug out, get the tool, ream that hole out with the reaming tool, get the glue, put it inside the plug, put it in the plugging tool, and bloop, bloop. And then get your pocket knife out and zip and cut it off. And then you get that inflator out that's supposed to be in your car. The pump, the little electric pump that you can buy now for $29.95 at any place on the planet. And you pump your tire back up. And now you don't even have to worry about that. Okay? So something to think about. It's watch a YouTube video. I'm telling you, you're going to be like, what? All right, let's see here. Don't plug a sidewall. Yeah, that's true. You cannot plug a sidewall. That's not smart. And it won't work. Let's see. I keep extra belts for my truck also. Yes. Yeah. Distilled water for the battery. That's something. Okay. Noco makes a few, most batteries are sealed now. Noco makes a few great portable battery jump starters. I can personally say have lasted the test of time. Yeah, Homestead Creaker, there are some tiny little battery jumpers that are absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Everyone should know how to change a tire in case can't patch. Yes, absolutely true. If you could take a tire off, you can put a tire on. Let's see here. A jumpstart battery pack takes up less space than cables. Yes, but you can only use that for a certain period of time. And I'll be honest with you, I have both. It's very situational. Safety vest, triangle flares. Yes, those are something we should talk about. Let's see here. Grinders have lost us. We're still talking about grinders. Newer vehicles are coming with tire plug and patches, not spares. Yeah, exactly. And it's funny too, because too bad most don't know how to use the kits. That's true, Ian. Now, and here's the funny thing. A lot of these newer cars, they're not coming with patches or plug kits. They're coming with an inflator and the green stuff, the green goo. I can't remember the name of it. It's green and gooey, and you put it on your on the valve, and you squirt it into the tire, and then you fill the tire up, and then it spins around and fills the hole from the inside. So a lot of cars are coming like that as well. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and move on to tools and survival gear. Green, that's right, slime. There you go. Thank you, Cuck. Good. So tools and survival gear. Depending on the emergency, there are numerous tools that could come in handy. A fire extinguisher should be kept within easy reach, not buried in a trunk. A shovel can be useful for digging out snow or mud, creating a makeshift latrine, or building a shelter. Flashlights, preferably headlamps, crowbars, knives, and weapons can be crucial in survival situations. Paracord is incredibly versatile, useful for repairs, shelter building, or even emergency splints. So what I'll say on that is, somebody put it in the chat earlier that they keep a military or folding shovel in their car. It's a great idea. The story on that one is pretty simple. I was in South Korea. We were in the back of 5 tons. We were moving up to the DMZ area, and we had a tire go out on us, and we had to sit there and wait for the recovery vehicle. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that many of the large military vehicles, you can't just change their tire. You actually have to have like a recovery vehicle because they're so big and massive. Anyway, so the recovery vehicle showed up. We got the big jack out. We jacked this truck up. It was supposed to have its own jack. It didn't. And we got the spare out, but we couldn't get the truck high enough because of the way we pulled off the road. We couldn't get the truck high enough up to either get the tire off the ground or put the new tire on. And after 30 minutes of deliberating on how they're going to figure out, I walked up to my platoon sergeant at the time, said, "Why don't we just dig underneath the tire? We have 20 shovels in this truck." Light bulbs go off. We can dig underneath the tire, and mysteriously now we can get a tire on. So anyway, having those little foldable shovels are super awesome. I actually have this cool ass World War I shovel that I'm going to be using in a couple of new videos. So it's pretty interesting stuff. Tools, survival gear. It's always going to be a good thing. All right. So if I go over onto the chat, slime makes a hell of a mess when you take the tire off. I know, but it's all about survivalism, bro. Duct tape again. Keep a folding shovel also. Good to go, Johnny. Toe strap and clevis that has screws and pin. Good stuff. Glue slime can be dangerous for mechanics if unaware. Tire could explode when trying to service. I didn't think that was the slime issue. I thought that was Fix-A-Flat that was that issue. All right, let's see here. But hey, correct me if I'm wrong. All right, let's see here. Sanitation and hygiene. Being stranded can quickly become uncomfortable if hygiene needs are not addressed. Include portable toilets, include portable toilet bags, hand sanitizer, wet wipes, and disposable gloves. For women, adding female hygiene products is a must. At a minimum, don't forget the TP. People, I've always thought that was kind of mind blowing when people start talking about keeping gear in their cars for sanitation and hygiene, but they always seem to forget the toilet paper. It always blew my mind. Let's see here. Johnny says, anyone keep oxygen in their first aid kit in a car? What are you doing, little monster? It was the cat. One of the cats. Anyway, no, I don't. But I mean, that's not a bad idea. You can buy these little cans of air for workouts. I don't know that I would like oxygen because you're supposed to have a license for that. So let's see. Johnny says, I don't keep feminine hygiene products in my car. I don't pick up strange women. You sound like you lead a pretty boring life, man. Okay. Let's go. Number 10, seasonal adjustments and storage tips. It's important to adjust the car emergency kit seasonally. In the winter, add items like snow chains, extra antifreeze, and thicker gloves. In summer, include sunscreen, extra water, and cooling towels. Regular maintenance of the kit is crucial. Check food and water supplies annually and swap out expired items. Adjust clothing and gear to match the upcoming season and keep everything organized in clear labeled containers. So closing this section out, and then we're going to talk a little bit more. Having a car emergency kit can be a life-saving in numerous situations, from natural disasters to simple road breakdowns. The goal is to be as self-reliant as possible, ensuring safety and comfort for yourself and your passengers. Being prepared doesn't just mean surviving a disaster. It means thriving through it with confidence. Now, one little note that I have about food in the car, guys, obviously, wherever you live, temperature is always going to be an issue. So the type of food that you have in the car is going to be, you're going to have, it should last at least 3 months. Okay. Because there's 4 seasons, there's 3 months per season, that kind of thing. But that food should last at least 3 months. And a lot of times people will throw out food that they believe has been compromised because it's been in their car too long. Now, here's how we do that and we save some money. Believe it or not, you can actually it's one of the things I learned being a hiker is that you can make like these little hiker MREs for almost nothing. Okay. Go to the $1.25 tree store. You buy food that all fits into a Ziploc bag. You basically make your own little MRE. And it could be anything. It could be, granola bars. It could be bag tuna, bag chicken. It could be anything. Crackers. It could be anything, guys. The point is that food can sometimes go bad because it got too freaking warm in your car. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. That's one of the reasons I don't put MREs in my car during the summertime, because they're too damn expensive. Anywho, it's an idea. It's just an idea as far as food, because you can make your own little MREs out of all the stuff from the $1.25 tree store. And if things go bad, then you can just throw it out. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's see here. I'm going to go to the chat here. Let's see. My life is very boring. I'm sorry to hear that, Johnny, but you should do something about that. Go driving around, pick up some strange women. Mike says most pressurized cans nowadays use butane or butane propane mix as propellant. There you go. Bada boom. Do those little cans of air help with survival? I couldn't tell you if they help with survival. What I can tell you is, let's say you physically exert it. This is actually a note for people who are not in good health. Okay. So let's say you've physically exerted yourself, right? And I mean, we all know if it takes a long time to get our breath back, right? Well, it's difficult to get your breath back because your body, your heartbeat is beating so hard that your body is going, you need all the oxygen you can get, and that's why you're breathing hard. Okay. And so you can actually just take a couple of hits of this canned air, and yeah, you'll immediately start to calm down. Okay. So it could be of use to you. That's what I'll say on that. Medical disclaimer: I am not a doctor. Do not take my advice because I'm a little crazy. All right, let's see here. Nice and boring is good. That's okay, bro. Let's see here. Helps you when you're underwater. Keep your tailpipe clear. There you go. Feminine hygiene pads are good for large wounds. Stray Kitten says those little cans can help you when drowning. No. All right. Let's see. Johnny, oxygen is smart and dangerous to keep in vehicles. Need to be secured in safe location and have to worry about it if it gets too hot. So there's temperature issues. All right. Let's see here. Okay, guys. Let's see. Well, looks like we've made it to the hour. Nobody died, and that I know of anyway. If somebody's like sitting at the keyboard. Let's see. Yep, that's going to be about it. That's going to be about it. Looks like with the poll, we've got 45% believe food and water is the top priority with 20 votes. There's 26 people in here. If you have not put your vote in, now would be the time to do that while I sip this coffee and wait for the lag to kick in to give you that opportunity. Oh yeah. All right, guys, as usual, do me a favor. If you could hit that thumbs up on the way out the door, it really helps the channel and costs you nothing. 2, if you're new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Everybody should be checking their bells. YouTube is notorious for turning them off. 3, if you want to support the channel. And by the way, Margaret, if you're in the house, thank you for becoming a member. Margaret is our newest minimalist prepper level. So if I see her in here, if you guys see Margaret, say hi to her. Yeah, if you want to help support the channel, I recommend that you become a member of the channel. And if you're on your phone, which you probably all are, find the more button. It's either the letters that are in blue or green that say more. Press that, scroll down to the join, press that, pick the one in the middle because it offers you everything. All right, guys, that's going to be about it for today. Make sure that you stay safe. Have a great day, and I shall see you when I see you. Bye-bye.